just attack fear wherever you see it.
There should be no fear.
Overcome a fear.
Want success? Model the best. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. I believe in you, and this channel is designed to be a part of your daily success routine. So today, let's learn one of the most common rules that successful people follow: conquer your fears. Also, if you want to know what Warren Buffett, myself, Will Smith, and others have to say about building confidence and excellence, check out my 254 series, where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a morning video for free to help start your day. The links to join are in the description below.
It's important to associate with people that are better than yourself.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
It takes such a desperate, obsessive focus to excel on the level that I want to make movies.
We're not just bungee jumping out of a helicopter. We're going to do it at the Grand Canyon. And when I was up there and I jumped, I realized, it's fun and it's exciting. And there's something mythological about confronting death, right? Because as much as we're laughing and as much as we're having fun, it really is the emotional confront with death, and I'm 50 years old now, and I'm sort of having the realization that you have to be able to go. You have to be able to take that shot at the thing that you dream. You have to be able to take that shot at that love that you want, at that life that you want to build. And it's like, when I was up there and the guy said to me, the only way you can get hurt is if you don't get away from the chopper. Right? And he said, in that moment, he said, we're going to let the cords go. And these cords weigh 200 pounds. Right? So when we let them go, they're gone. The hesitation is the thing that really messes up the chance at having your dreams, right? Get out of the middle. But the moment of pushing off is pure freaking terror. And then there's the moment of falling, but you're gone, so it's really nothing you can do. And just like life, there's nothing to hold on to. And we're all trying to hold on to something. You're trying to hold on to an idea, or you're trying to hold on to a person, and there's nothing to hold on to. And we got to just get comfortable falling, knowing there's nothing to hit, right? And that's the idea. It's like life is dangerous. And the only way to really enjoy it is jump and be free.
I live my life, and every time I'm cast in a film, I am equally as terrified as I was about the challenge when I did my first film at 17, and when I did Titanic, and when I did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and when I did The Reader. That fear, I think, is what drives me, to be honest. Acting, it's such a wonderful thing to do, and I love it, and I love it more as I'm getting older, I think. But it is scary because you can easily get it wrong.
Somebody once said that the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. I had been terrified of public speaking. I couldn't do it. I'd throw up. And I knew if I didn't cure it then, I'd never cure it. And so I saw an ad in the paper for the Dale Carnegie course, which worked on developing your ability to speak in public. And I went down there.
Be sincere. A good smile has the same effect as a puppy's tail. When a puppy wags...
They made us do all these crazy things to get out of ourselves, and so we stood on tables and did all kinds of things. If I hadn't have done that, my whole life would have been different. So in my office, you will not see the degree I got from the University of Nebraska. You'll not see the master's degree I got from Columbia University, but you'll see the little award certificate I got from the Dale Carnegie course.
It seems like you can't open a book or read a blog post these days without hearing somebody tell you to follow your passion or follow your bliss or follow your heart. And yes, I have said those things too. But today I want to talk about the power of going in what can often feel like the opposite direction. I want to talk about the power of following your fear. I'm not talking about following your very useful fear of big moving vehicles and walking in front of a bus, nor am I talking about doing anything stupid or irresponsible that could ruin you financially. What I am talking about, though, is the power of following good fear, directive fear, the kind of fear that you feel when you have an idea that just won't leave you alone, an idea about doing something that you've always wanted to do, something that's different and bold and kind of risky, where part of you is saying, oh no, I actually couldn't do that. But the deeper, wiser part of you wants this thing so damn bad. And the moment you imagine yourself going for it, you have worries like, will people laugh at me? Will they ignore me? Maybe this isn't even really an idea. What if I do it and it sucks? Am I going to destroy my reputation? Am I going to lose my marriage and my family and wind up living on the streets? My friend Stephen Pressfield talks about this kind of fear in The War of Art, and he says, remember our rule of thumb. The more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. And he continues, the more fear we feel about a specific enterprise, the more certain we can be that that enterprise is important to us and the growth of our soul.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Also, just attack fear wherever you see it, even when it's trivial, even when it's some kind of, we were just before we got on here, we talked about the fear of the number 13, trigotrichophobia. Like if you're afraid of 13, you know what you need to do? You need to put 13s all over your house. You need to sit in 13s. You need to go to the 13th, demand to be on the 13th floor of every hotel and every airplane, because you got to get over that because that is telling yourself that there's something irrational that should control you. And if you believe there's something that's irrational that should control you, that will apply universally. So wherever you find fear specifically that's out of balance with actual danger, like I'm not saying touch a hot stove or put your hand in a rattlesnake cage, like there's danger there. That's not fear. But 13, no danger. That's not real. So go collapse that. If it's a fear of crickets like I have, or a fear of whatever it is, collapse fear wherever you see it. And that specific collapse will help with the universal collapse of fear in general.
Everybody says they want to be the boss, but people be scared to be the boss. Most people are scared to put up their own money. Most people are scared to tell people to work when they don't want to. Most people are scared to even ask for their money. You understand what I'm saying? I see people that are uncomfortable about asking about their own business, like asking for change, you know what I'm saying? Or asking how much do you get paid, or when am I going to get paid, or where's my money? I have never felt uncomfortable about asking for my bread. And I've never understood people that were uncomfortable for asking for their bread. And I really don't understand people that are offended by you asking for your bread. You know, you ask somebody for their money and they're like, what you asking? Like, I'm not supposed to ask for my money. I'm not supposed to ask about my money. Like the money and the business, there should be no emotion with asking about it because it's business. There should be no fear. You should never be ashamed to ask for your change, ever. You know, or to scrutinize a bill.
Fear is normal. It's part of what makes you human. You would not be human or you'd have some crazy condition if you never felt fear. I think the people who say don't be afraid aren't giving you practical advice. It's be afraid, feel the fear, and then step into it and do it anyway. And the more you get used to taking on those fearful projects that you're scared of, the stronger you'll get, the more resistance you'll get, the higher tolerance you'll get to do bigger, better, bolder, badder things. I think the trick though is spotting the fear. Here's what I think happens to most people. There's some opportunity that comes along. There's some moment that comes along, whether it's with a client or meeting somebody or an event, something comes along that you're afraid of. You're afraid of doing it. It's gonna stretch you beyond what you've ever done before. And then what you do is you rationalize saying no. I don't have the money to go to that event. I'm too busy to go and do that thing right now. You find the reason why you can't go and do it. You rationalize it, but really deep down, the reason is you're just afraid. And until you spot the fear, until you understand that it's really just the fear, then you're never gonna solve the problem. So step one is understanding when there is fear. Step two is then stepping into it and doing it anyway. And a lot of this stuff is just so subconscious. You know, we as human beings are kind of trained to, when we're afraid something's gonna go wrong, and to be safe. And so it's trying to catch that subconscious action and proactively change it. So as an example for me, when I was starting my YouTube channel, my agent would tell me, you have to go out and do videos in public. I want you to go out on the street and make a video in public. My natural reaction was fear, but I didn't catch it. Initially it was, the gear won't be as good in public, you know, I can't control the light settings, I'm gonna be bouncing around with the camera, it's not gonna be a great experience for the people watching. Why would I do that? I'm rationalizing a reason why I don't have to do it, or really I'm just afraid, right? You could solve all those problems. And he told me, stop being afraid and just go out and do it. He cut through it and let me see my own fear. And so I did it. And when I first went out and filmed in public, I took out, it was my phone or my camera, I don't remember, and I'm walking on the street, and then the postman is there. And so as soon as I see the postman, I quiet down. I put the camera away, just walking normally. And then when the postman leaves, I'm back to filming. And that time I noticed, like, I'm doing it because I'm afraid. And I got pissed. Okay, next time, I gotta speak up. Next time, I gotta do better. And so I went out and forced myself to go and do it again. And I was walking past and there were these construction workers. And instantly again, the panic sets in, like, people are watching, these construction workers. Like, I know they don't really even care about me and what I'm saying, what's happening on the street. But I forced myself through it. It was awkward, it wasn't great. I think I had to redo it again anyway, but I took the step. I got better at it. I recognized the fear and I jumped into it. And now it's to the point where I'll make videos walking down the hall, I'll make videos when I'm at Disneyland, Disney World, you know, I'll make videos in the streets of anywhere. And there's still a moment, even now, after how many videos I've done, there's still a moment of who's watching. I think it's natural and normal. It's not as strong as it used to be. And more importantly, it doesn't limit me from doing the thing that I want to do. And so spotting the fear and not rationalizing it away and not just doing what your subconscious always does that keeps you down where you are is so important. Being truthful that the reason why you said no or you're not taking this opportunity is just because you're afraid. And the answer to saying no should never be because I'm afraid. You want to rejig your system. So whenever that's the answer, because I'm afraid to do it, now you have to do it.
When you focus on the worst possible outcome, you actually feel as if you are in that worst possible outcome. The only way to overcome a fear is, instead of focusing on the worst possible outcome, to focus on the best possible outcome. I'm driving it's foggy, it's dark, it's icy, I might skid off the road and kill myself. Or I'm driving very carefully, I'm driving very slowly, I'm driving very cautiously because I'm going to be safe and I'm going to get home. See, that's the difference. You just have to give yourself different beliefs. The thing with fear always is you have two choices. Rationalize why you feel so terrible, or talk yourself out of it. And I was on the beach with my daughter and there was a big dog and it was quite a scary dog and she didn't like this dog. And I said to her, you know, darling, when you don't like a dog, you get very scared and the dog doesn't like it either and he gets scared. So when you see a scary dog, turn your back to it, don't look at it, because when you look at it, you're challenging it. And that's hard to do, to turn your back on a dog, but if you turn your back, it's not a challenge. And she understood that, and I was always teaching her, when you have a fear, you have a choice. Oh my God, that dog's gonna bite me, attack me, hurt me, or I'm gonna talk myself out, I'm gonna turn away, I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna be really calm, and that dog's just gonna go on its way. And it's the same with everything in life to do with fear. Rationalize why you feel so fearful, or talk yourself out of it. I'll be fine, this is okay, everything's gonna work out perfectly, I'm okay. All of these fears hold you back, and they don't have to, because every fear you go through teaches you something. You see, if you go to a fun fair and go to those loop-the-loop rides, you can scream in terror or you can scream in excitement. And the fact that people put themselves through those rides means that at some level we quite like fear. It challenges us to do more. It challenges us to grow more. So don't fear fear. Remember, the only fear to fear is fear itself.
As a young boy, I was enthralled by airplanes and the wonder of whether I would ever embark on a flight that would carry me to new, exciting adventures and a life of limitless possibilities. I came to know I had the power within me to soar, and that has made all the difference in my life. Flying for the first time is a lot like creating your own business, launching a startup, or establishing a non-for-profit organization. Both require a leap of faith and a willingness to take a journey of unexpected variables. In other words, both require a little bit of crazy and a whole lot of courage. Don't let fear hold you back from doing what you truly love. Commit to your vision and be the CEO of your future.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip with Grant Cardone on how to get out of the fear that I think you're gonna really enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to move from just watching another video into actually taking action. And if you're feeling bold, leave your answers in the comments below. Here we go. Question number 1, what fear is holding you back? Number 2, how will you jump into it and be free? And number 3, how will you celebrate after you've jumped?
If you guys look around, man, it would appear to me that 99% of the people that you run into today are having some kind of financial problem. Oh, 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I know people that don't live paycheck to paycheck that worry about money every second of every day. When my dad died, I didn't know anything about the 1%, but I knew I wanted to get in that club. I'm like, I have to get above whatever this middle class thing is because there's no safety here. It's constant fear. I've only wanted money for one reason, to be out of fear. So I could help out, so I could give to charities, so I could help my brother, so I didn't have to worry about how much the fuel cost or do I run an ad budget or not. Man, you guys got to get out of the fear, man. That's the whole purpose, okay? The fear, by the way, is not a conspiracy. That shit is real. Everybody like, oh, fear ain't real. Yeah, well, it's easy for you to say you ain't got any this second, okay? Because it ain't scary to write a damn quote or to post something on Instagram. That shit ain't scary. What's scary is going to take a loan for $60 million. See if you ain't got a little bit of scare, okay? Saying no to a customer. Hey, man, you're wrong. Okay, my daughter told me the other day, customers are always right, Papa. No, they're not. No, they're not. And most people don't even know how to tell a customer they're wrong. Okay, best customers I have, I told them, nope, that's not true. That's not right. You're wrong, and I'll show you why.
If you want to learn more how Will Smith conquers his fears, check out the video right there next to me. It's inspiring. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear, right? So I gotta stand up. I'm sorry, I gotta stand up.